Welcome to the weekly for April the 15th. For some reason, if the video looks weird this week, it's not just that I look weird, but there's something wrong with the way it's recording, and I'm not I'm not very versed in how to change things like that. So I apologize if it's distracting. I think I look like I'm stretched out for some reason more than I normally am. So hey guys, it's Sunday afternoon for me whenever you're tuning in. I'm hoping that this Sunday morning worship gathering was an encouragement to you. It was very different than what we normally do. We wanted to take some time to focus on prayer and not only to focus on it from a teaching angle, but also to focus on it practically by spending time doing it. So I would just encourage each of you as you prepare for your groups this week. Discussion is going to be quite a bit different. It's going to be a lot more praying and a lot less discussing. But I want to encourage you to prepare yourself by going through the prayer guide that was in the insert in your bulletin this week. We talk about this all the time, and it's worthy of being mentioned again that we lead out of our own being led by Jesus. We don't just lead people in our own strength, but we lead people as we are following Jesus ourselves. And there's no better way to prepare your heart for what's going to happen in your group this week than by walking through the prayer guide that we are going to encourage everybody to walk through, and also to take some time to fast on Wednesday. It's been about a year and a half or so since we've called people to fast and that are a part of our body. So doing this again will be challenging for people. It'll be something that people will want to talk about, and it'll be something that people will do. If you lead them into doing it, they'll be much more likely to do that. In God's providence, this sermon on prayer from the end of James just happened to come right at the time that we were planning our spring training for city group leaders. That's a week from today, next Sunday, the 22nd. And the topic we're going to be dealing with is prayer. So hopefully this week just serves to prepare your heart for that. I'm mentioning it because I just want to remind you all to sign up on the city RSVP to bring something if you're able. And remember that we only do these 3 times a year, so these are mandatory events. If there's a good reason why you can't come, that's different. But otherwise, we just want everybody who can possibly be there to attend. Another event, just to remind you of, ladies, is the Women's Huddle. That's this Wednesday. It's not too late to sign up. That's going to be a great time of encouragement, fellowship, and just discovering how you can each be serving the women in your group better. Laura Reynolds is going to be hosting and facilitating that night, so go into our group on the city and make sure that you sign up. One other thing I wanted to mention before we shut this down here, and that is that today we made a really exciting announcement. It's just great to be able to share this as a community. Some of you have known about this. We've been keeping this kind of quiet for over a year now, but we announced today that we're going to be acquiring the building that I'm in right now, 335 Warner Street, where Fairview Baptist Church meets. Michael is calling us as a church to be in prayer about this. We know that people are excited. We know that some people are going to have questions that they want answers to, and that's justified and understandable. But as you hear people talking about it this week in your groups or outside of your groups even, I would just encourage you all to be prayerful for us as elders and to encourage people to be prayerful. If the conversation turns like super positive about, hey, it's great, we have a building, we're a real church now, feel free to speak truth to that and say, no, a building is a tool. We're going to be saying that a lot. A building is a tool for the vision. A building is a tool for advancing the gospel, but it's not an end unto itself. We really want to guard our hearts against that, and I'm asking you as city group leaders to be in prayer for your groups so that wouldn't happen to them. We have a tendency to idolize brick and mortar, and we don't want to do that as a church. And then you have the other side of things where change is hard for people, and we're not naive enough to think that everybody is going to be excited about this. Some people are going to have a lot of concerns, and if you hear anything like that, I would just, again, encourage people to say, like, be in prayer. As elders, we're going to answer questions. We want to hear from people. There's going to be a time and a place and an outlet for that's coming soon. So just hang in there and let's be unified as a body. We prayed for unity today, and quite honestly, there has not been a greater time in the short history of this church that I can think of that we should all be praying for unity, because it's going to be a challenge as we move into this next season as a church. So I hope that you're all excited about that announcement. I know that I am. I'm blown away at the way that God has blessed this church, continues to bless this church, and it's an honor to serve with each of you men and women, leaders, apprentices. Thank you so much for taking the responsibility of shepherding a small flock, and it's a joy to shepherd you. Hope you have a great group this week. As always, if you need anything, I'm an email away. See you guys later.